Hi, another week. So this time I once again made a list of points I did, well, 1 minute ago. Like I said countless times, most of the things I do in my head, and usually I forget to write them down, and yes, that's a bad thing. I should quit that habit. So I just now written down some things in my diary, and in the end of the video I will make some kind of small announcement which affects my YouTube channel and the formats we are doing. So yes, I'll go straight through the list. We start from the simple. My word count, didn't change. I'm in the process of editing 8th chapter. Basically, that 8th chapter was mostly around my main character. I have 7 main characters, just main protagonist. I thought these were the same things in my book. They aren't. So, Caspian is a protagonist. If we around the edges, this 8th chapter was from his perspective and mostly turning around him. And there was his younger sister, and she didn't do much. I used it as example previously in my videos. Just a female character, not a character. It was something that was truly painful to watch for me, and yet I wasn't able to change it. I mean, she appears in that chapter, well, not for the first time, but this time more like one-to-one. And I didn't do a chapter from her perspective yet, though now more or less I can see that. Just I need time to actually do it. So if I already mentioned siblings, I will describe the issue I have, because I previously said I struggle with character development. So now I think I could explain it. Firstborn, his name is Rhodys. So I might change that name because I don't like complex name, okay? Mostly in this fantasy books, names kill me because name itself shouldn't be the main issue. However, that's the name. I think that's the most complex one. Maybe not. In the top list, one of the most complex. Okay, so he's the firstborn. His character is well developed. I developed him more or less. I mean, he has this kind of the way he speaks, the way he acts, his flaws, and the internal conflict. I mean, the checklist is done, and I feel more or less comfortable writing from his perspective. With him, I also more or less I don't need to worry about him. Then I have Caspian, the main protagonist. He's the second child. With him, I did beyond the checklist. Because he needed it more. I needed to develop him even deeper because that's what book requires. I almost feel like I know him better than I know myself. Might be a bit, I don't know, maybe that's not an issue. Yeah, about Caspian, I don't worry, yet I always end up finding new things. So Caspian is, I really should already leave him. I should focus my attention to the third sibling, Elijah. He's one of the siblings which I struggle to develop. But now I did my work in my head. I don't usually do it in the paper right away. First head. Maybe that's trait I developed from practicing violin. So yes, most of work, first I do it in my mind, then I do it physically. So the issue was with actually developing his character, because he is just like Viella, was just like a side sibling, which is a no. I want them to be equal, which Caspian sets the high bar, so I should bring them to that level. I want them to be equal with depth and the way and how real they feel. I want them to feel in the same level. Well, for me to develop Caspian to this level it took me a year. an intense year of thinking and analyzing. So I will try to change something to fasten it, because I don't feel like spending 7 years writing this book, which is already, I know I can write fast, and I will tell about it a bit in the end. I'm actually shocked. That was a new thing for me, because I thought I was a slow writer, because thinking and after only the writing, but then there's a deadline and I should write, and I did well, but I will tell about it later. So with Elijah, I started. I already put some small things from which I could train all others together, so it all makes sense, and he feels like a real character and not just just a third child, spoiled third child. Of course, I can't say that he's spoiled, but his siblings will definitely say it. I gave him that trauma. That's the first thing, okay? That's the thing from which grows everything, and psychology proves it, science proves it, as far as as far as I know from all the books and the research I did. And what else? Yes, I gave him some of the traits. Well, this one is a bit not a positive one. I gave him this kind of temper, which is, I can't say hot temper, because if you know a person who has a hot head, this character will end up in every terrible situation, which is probably a fight or a conflict. While with Elijah, it's more like he's a calm individual, okay? And more or less he's the one who will act quietly and will revenge. He has that trait. But when you actually do something that actually hurts him or crosses his barriers, his personal line toward the siblings, and the issue is that it can be the smallest thing. Like, when they are teenagers, so these teenagers, and he happened to have a weird siblings. Yes, he will end up in such a terrible fight that he will get a huge trouble, and usually his parents later, his siblings, will lecture him forever. But he also, like I said, he loves his siblings too much, and that's like not too much. He loves his siblings, but the thing is that when it comes to, I'm talking about those things. Those things are the surface. I might change them because, like I said, I'm still in the process, and I'm trying to the surface. I'm trying to live sculpture like the brief form, and then after just to do the details. That kind of attachment towards his siblings brings him into that situation where he can't think straight, and that's not a good trait, okay? That's a flaw, if you ask me. But also, I will not do it as his main flaw, because that's also a thing, like which flaw to give to a main character. And usually the first thing is trust issues. Okay, trust issues is not a flaw, if you ask me, okay? It cannot be called as a flaw. I would never, because if that would be a flaw, all my characters have a trust issue, okay? I can't say that it's flaw, because usually it can be three things. First, it can be a trauma, like character experienced certain trauma, and now this character is afraid to trust. That's a surviving skill almost, not a flaw. So, it also depends, because, there can be all different surviving methods. I don't know how else to call it. Going further, second thing is when character has been betrayed for some, and especially if that was person they trusted, they will question their ability, for example, to trust, and they will decide not to trust at all. And I don't see it as a flaw. Or This character wasn't traumatized by it, neither betrayed, but that character deeply understands how this world works. And this character understands that they cannot trust everyone, and or they'll end up in a terrible situation. So yes, they highly control over with who they share this kind of information or feelings and so on. I mean, and it works not only in the fantasies, okay? Our world works the same in the same way. No, I would never call it a flaw, or I don't know, just for me it's lazy, okay? You have nothing to think about, and let's give our character a common sense and call it a flaw. That I was talking, we're finishing on Elijah. Next sibling is one of my favorites. I love all of them, but Klaus is one of the bright and charming, and he's intelligent, but he doesn't use his intelligence, and he's the fourth sibling. And yes, sharp tongue. He's the one to light up the terrible situation, but not in a cliche way, okay? Things can be really terrible, and he won't be the one to joke in the room or say, you know what, everything will be alright. He will joke about how terrible this situation is and how stupid they are, but that will still somehow lighten the mood. And yes, he's one of my favorite characters, but I love all of them, but this one has special place in my heart. Well, they all have special places, just this one has this a bit warmer space. I love him, and I almost think I developed him, but the thing is that I struggled to give him an internal conflict or that trauma. He's definitely traumatized, okay, but I need the main thing that shifted. I mean, there are definitely events that could make it, but I just need to decide which one and what other things. I mean, I'm supposed to give him a struggle. I can't find one. I can't say that he's happy or that he's a sunlight. He's more of a like that spark from which all the fire can go further. And usually, yes, he's for any adventure. He's up to everything, but he's not the typical hot-headed. Once again, he's not hot-headed, despite him being that, I don't know, comfort character. I don't know how else to say it. How do I call him? I mean, all of those things sounds wrong about him because they put this kind of cliche on him while he's far from all the cliche. Him, despite being up to any adventure and having sharp tongue and ha-ha-he-he, he's deeply smart. He also has different thoughts inside, beside from what he actually shares with. So I can't say that he's deep. I lack vocabulary to describe him. So yes, the thing I should develop is a struggle. And moving to the fifth sibling, Aviel is 1 hour or less younger than Klaus. They are twins, but they are not alike. They don't look alike. They look completely different. But yes, they were born in the... I can't say... Okay, I like medical vocabulary also. I like general vocabulary. Aviel he's complete opposite of Klaus, okay? He's that kind of melancholic character at some point, but also sharp mind, terribly sharp mind. He has these ideas. He will never shut up, okay? That's a character who will talk about anything. If you tell him to shut up, he will explain you why he can't shut up, and that will be a next conversation for half of the day. I also love him. I mean, him being not as funny as Klaus, he's also that kind of... he's a pleasant character. I love writing about him. I love his dialogues and the way he speaks, the way he acts, and what he cares about. Also, yes, he has a deep childhood trauma, and I recently discovered it because he Well, he was even in the worse situation than Elijah. But this one trauma I discovered, because that's actually how it feels, explained all his character and brought him to a different level. Then goes the last sibling, their younger sister, Viela. That's the most troublesome sibling I've ever had, and I now know why. Not a solution, but almost the solution. I know why. She's a kind of, and I see her as an individual who she cannot be fitted into this kind of archetypal, I don't know if that sounds wrong. I can't fit her into this artificial form. She definitely will play the role as a character who will move the plot. She's definitely not that any longer. If I fix what I wrote before, then yes, she will definitely do her part, but I want her to feel as equally deep as all other siblings. For now, she's in the worst situation. And moving to the 7th character, that character isn't a sibling to all other 6. That character is this character competes with Caspian on who is more developed, because on one hand this character is something that was the first character, okay? That character, that 7th character, is someone I saw from the very beginning. That character was before the book, before the idea, before anything. That character was first. And Caspian was second, and so went all the siblings. And I think I still have a photo. I was still debating whether I should even add Viela to the main 6, like do all these 6 characters, because I mean, I struggled to develop her. I didn't even saw her till the last. I debated also one of the things, crucial things in my book, and I struggled to develop her character, and I thought that I will remove her completely. If we thought logically, I should have removed her. Okay, I think I thought about it for a while. Like, it took me 2 weeks, not these 2 weeks previously. It took me 2 weeks to decide, yes or no. Well, my head didn't lift it to say no. I couldn't delete her. I couldn't move her from this story. I know she is supposed to be in this story. I just can't develop her. So that's maybe one of the reasons why she's such a huge problem now. That 7th character, which is the first character I ever thought about, is also greatly developed. Also beyond the checklist. That character has its way of speaking, way of acting, background. Also, the background I should polish it because it has a lot of plot holes. Like, I mostly struggle with this character's background. Also, I can't say, because now I have other issue with this 7th character, because I should think about this character. Maybe, I don't know. That's the first character. I should have get used to this character, but I changed rapidly, okay? Because when I started writing the first chapter, I already finished the first chapter. I started writing second chapter from Caspian's point of view. Okay, that's I won't tell how developed it was, because it was that was a terrible thing. Okay, I had nothing. Neither world building, nothing. Not a villain. I just wrote the first chapter. After, or maybe even after, like later, these 3 months, I changed something completely about this character background. I mean, I had one thing in mind, but I hated it so much that I couldn't leave it. It wouldn't let me sleep. But because I have Caspian, his background is just, that's something almost overwhelming for me. And then there is this character, which background, like backstory, past, I completely disliked. It made me nauseous. I mean, on one hand, I understand that for plot, it works great. Okay, it explains the plot. It solves so many things. it was more convenient for me to leave it this way than to change anything. I mean, the logical solution would be to leave it. But assuming that if I hate this character's background, then what will readers say? And I, at the moment, didn't even thought about the reader, almost. Because, I mean, I'm the one thinking about the story all the time, and I'm the one who hates it. So I was always thinking, analyzing, plotting, which detail should I change for it to make work? To make this character past, to make it work, to make it... I was thinking that I could fix one detail, something that one detail could fix everything, and you as a reader and I will sympathize with this character, and I would love that character. And then only did I realize that wasn't a single detail I needed to change. I needed to change everything. I erased everything I knew about this character and built it up completely out of nothing. Yes, that character almost feels like a new, once again, despite it being the first one. So that's about character. That's the most massive part about this video, and I think that's the main message. Moving to the end, I will begin with this writing thing. I found out that I can actually write fast. I just need something I hate. I need a structure. I need dry, sharp, just horrific structure for me in order to write it fast. My siblings, my older sister, my younger sister, and my mom decided to make this little project of ours, like a small thing. We create a parenting book. So the idea was that my mom, with her love to psychology, gives the message, the structure. My younger sister draws the images for this book, illustrations for this book, and my older sister does the handwriting thing. She makes it readable and with beautiful font. My job is to write it. My mom gave the structure, how it goes, and this should be this, and this. You write it. So it sounds beautiful, readable, and that it does its message. Well, I, being myself, pushed it till the end. I procrastinated. We decided to do it like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and my mom doing everything fast as she can. Already expected the book to be ready. While 2 days ago, I told her that I have no idea what should I write about. Yes. We settled everything peacefully. She explained, told me just write what's written here. I mean, she did the brief, like I said, this sharp structure, making like these points. And I was the one to write about these points. And I had no other choice. I sat and started writing. And I was writing and then looking into this plot points and writing this way. I almost finished it. Okay, of course, parenting book, like the story for kids, is a completely different thing from what I actually write. But I know that I can write fast, not losing its depth, making it symbolical and deep and everything, carrying its message without me saying it straight into the face. That was something new for me, okay? I almost finished it, and I like this story. I almost finished, like I said, almost finished it. My only thing is left is to draw, because my sister couldn't draw further, because we discovered that her images, illustrations, heavily depend on my writing, because what I write will be the thing that she will draw, and my older sister can't do anything because I still haven't wrote anything. So it was all on my shoulders. Actually, I generally like it. Also, I thought that it would be just as this parenting book and so on, but the most pleasant thing is that it almost sounds like a little prince. Of course, my writing and so on, I mean, I still see my voice there, okay? Storybook for kids, parenting book, but I still hear my voice. I don't know if that's good. You know, usually writers start with fanfictions. I started with a parenting book, and I never wanted to write fanfiction. Honestly, I thought about it because all of the writers say, you know, you should start from Wattpad, fanfictions, and so on. I couldn't, okay? Because in one hand, I will start writing this fanfiction, I will borrow someone's world. That's how it would have looked. I would start writing. I would make the romance, everything that should be in a fanfiction. I would make the plot. And then I would face the idea that I could have put the same effort into my own book. I thought I could write fanfiction. I thought, fine, I will shut down my ego and I will go and start from small. I can't. But this, and I thought, parenting book could be a good start. That's not even a good start. That's something great. That's something I'm proud of. I thought about my format because one video is about my writing week as a writer. If you scroll through my videos slower, you will see that I separated half video I'm talking about my writing process and the half I'm doing something like The Chosen Ones, what men think about women writing the male characters and so on. Not a good idea, videos turned long, I was rushing and I didn't open the topic completely. Now recently I added this twice a week. I'm reading this book and I thought that Friday, as usual, my writing week. On a Saturday evening, I am reading. In Tuesday I used to read books, but now in Tuesday, in my only free day from college, I will pick one topic. It mostly turns around literature throughout our time. That was what I wanted to change in my YouTube channel. Writing week, live reading, and a topic we discuss. That's all, folks.